Okay, guys, let's talk about this first one, creating a time versus position graph. This is the first example. So remember, I will do this first example, and then you guys can try the second example on your own. So this says, Mr. McSparron did his own version of the bubble tube lab, measured the position of the bubble tube in the red tube, the data he collected. Okay, so I've got my time here and my position here. So I need to draw a position or time versus position graph for the bubble. Make sure you do the following. So let's just check these off. So number one, title the graph. Remember that this is going to be time versus position. Okay, so check mark, got that. Label both axes. Okay, axes is plural of axis. All right, so down here, remember that we always put time on the bottom. And notice that this says with units. So that means this has to be time, and then I have to say this, seconds. Now the reason I know that is seconds is because this is in seconds. All right, so over here, now I can write position. And position is going to be in centimeters. Let's grab that. Oops. Grab that and let's kind of rotate it like that. Perfect. Freaking cockroaches in my room. Okay, so now I've got position in centimeters. So I just labeled both axes with units. Now evenly number the axes, okay? So I know that my x-axis needs to have 0 through 5. So I know 0 is going to start here. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 lines. Well, that's not enough to really like skip a line. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to number them. Let's give myself a touch more space. I'm just going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that. Okay, now up the side, I have to go from 0 up to 75. And again, I've got, so 0 is going to be here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I've got 8, I think that's going to be perfect for numbering by tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Now my graph is really going to fill up the whole thing. Okay, so now I'm just going to plot my points. All right, so let's erase that stuff. First I'm going to plot 0, 0. Oh wait, look. Evenly number axes, done. Now it says plot all points. So I'm going to go 0, 0. Next I'm going to go 1, 15. Then I go 2, 30. Then I go 3, 45. Then 4 and 60. And then 5 and 75. If you're having trouble plotting points, you really need to raise your hand and ask me, okay? I can explain it in greater detail and really slow down. So make sure that that's something that you're doing well. Okay, so plot the points. Now, draw a line of best fit. Don't just connect the dots. Remember, a line of best fit has to be straight. So I'm going to draw as straight of a line as I possibly can. You should use the edge of a notebook or a ruler, but that's going to be my line of best fit. And now I've got a time versus position graph, making sure that I checked all of these things off. Okay, now finally calculate the velocity of the bubble tube. All right, so remember this, that velocity, this will come back up later in the review, velocity equals slope. So what I need to find is the slope of this line. So I'm looking for rise over run. So let's just go from one point to another. Let's start at 0, and let's go up to, here, I'll do it in red. So let's start at 0, let's go up to here. So my rise, remember that this is 3 spaces, but it's not really 3. It's 10, 20, 30, okay? So my rise is 30. Now my run, now here the spaces really are 1 each, so it's 1, 2. Okay, so my rise over run is going to be 30 divided by 2. When I do that, oops, well, I'm gonna write one more thing on there just to make just, see how it says include units? Let's make units easy. So 30. 30 is actually 30 centimeters. 2 is actually 2 seconds. So I can do centimeters and seconds here, which means that 30 divided by 2 is 15 centimeters per second. Remember that the unit has to stay just like it is, so it's centimeters over seconds. And that is my final answer. All right, now you go on and you try example 2 by yourself without the video.